Okay, hello, welcome to my review of Little Witch Academia episode 12. It's gonna be a pretty short review. I usually do, like 10 minutes reviews or whatever. I did a 17 minutes review last week of Vision Pedal. It was like a very good episode. But this episode, it probably is like the shorter my reviews are, the worst episode pretty much. And I already did like a very short review after the reaction, of course, but this is like I watched the episode. So this episode I felt could have been way better because I feel they didn't utilize the whole Diana thing, right? I rewatched the episode once more. I was like, yeah, they didn't really utilize the whole Diana thing, right? So Akko is transformed into Diana, clearly by Sensei Woodward. Talk about that later, and they don't use that. I feel that they didn't use it at all. Like it happened. She did some fun here. She was like drawing their like Diana followers to kiss, right? And she went to her room, but she didn't find anything, which surprised me. I thought she was like find something about the seed or something. She didn't learn anything from that, it felt like. She had like one page there or something. Yeah, she kind of like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom now for one sensei. She could have been more embarrassed there, to embarrass there. And I don't know, yeah, it really feels like she didn't actually utilize the whole thing. They didn't utilize it. So that actually kind of fell flat, actually. So that to me is very disappointing, actually. It's not even that good episode in general. I think that was disappointed. So it's actually probably one of my least favorite episodes so far. It's in general. From everything, pretty much. The realization at the end was good, but she was like, okay, I have to stop trying to be exactly like Chariot. He was trying to be the best instead. That was pretty good, though, in the end there. But then, second note episode then, which also kind of makes it. We thought to review it because this is the first episode in this anime, which is actually a continuation story, right? It's the first episode where they actually heard, okay, this is not the end. We're actually gonna continue on this festival in the next episode, maybe even more, probably just one episode. So I could be wrong, and we can see next week that next episode might be like, okay, this is explaining it happened now and so on. But not really, right? Not really. The problem is that it wasn't like some dramatic end. It was a kind of cliffhanger. You're like, how will this work out? It was more like they still had the weekly adventure. This week was turned into Diana. If it like ended on her being Diana, we could say, okay, wow, this could be interesting next week. Or we can say, okay, she was discovered as being Diana in the last minute, that's ending, and we don't know the repercussion, we don't know why people were saying so on. But this episode was just like, she was Diana. She embarrassed herself because she couldn't do the magic. She was discovered. Okay. So, yeah. She learned a little from it, but it really wasn't very funny. It wasn't like she could do way better pranks. So yeah, the whole Diana part really fell flat. Really fell flat. Was more, the most more important in this episode is Sensei Woodward, I would say, because we see that the prankster Mirror is clearly Sensei Woodward. Not only does it have like a life of its own, and she is living as a kind of embodied spirit right in the school. She can definitely inhabit a mirror or so on. And the mirror frame is done by wood. And I actually did go and recheck the intros because I saw Woodward Sensei in the intro. And I went back a few weeks and looked at her. They actually also had her, so she's been here for a while though. But I didn't realize it before then. She's been here for a while. And we see in this episode as well then. And obviously, in the end of the episode, we see someone that's like helping Chariot to be a better magician. It is clearly Sensei Woodward, which is that one. She's her Ursula, right? So that is very clear. And probably then Woodward probably was like a teacher or the person that was before Chariot, probably breaking the seals, right? So they go like a tradition wise, right? They go down in tradition, right? I'll find a new kid to open up the seals probably. So like it feels that's probably the biggest of this episode, that Sensei Woodward is gonna be a bigger and bigger part of the story. She seems to be like, oh, Ursula, you're too weak, I'm gonna help you out, but getting this woman up to be a real witch, right? So it's kind of like she's going in there and be like, I'm gonna push Akko to grow up or so on. Which, for example, this Diana thing. She's clearly trying to speed up Akko's learning experience or something. Yeah, so I think we're gonna see a lot more of Sensei Woodward in general. That's why I thumbnail it, but yeah, that's a big thing in the episode primarily. So like last week we revealed her and so on, yeah, and we see. I mean, even last week she was supposed to be Aku as well, so yeah, definitely. So she and Ursula is gonna help her, and of course in the end, she also is showing. She's showing Aku like Chariot's memory or her memory of Chariot when she's doing the spell right to transform. And Aku's like, oh, that's not a spell, right? Because she was saying something wrong to when she was trying to transform, right? So generally feels like Ursula is teaching her the wrong spells, like the actual seal-breaking spells, more teaching her maybe correct typical magic. And we see that Woodward is showing her eyesight of like, this was the Chariot spell to transform, and then Aku will learn that one and never break a seal, right? So yeah, definitely that's, I think Ursula, Woodward and Ursula, but Woodward now, it's gonna have more impact on just pushing Aku into this breaking his seals, right? So I think that would be a major a plot thing then. The second part of this episode. But third and again then, this episode was actually the first episode where it didn't end, right? Which is the whole storyline. And that's pretty nice. Hope there could be more of that. They could be more interesting. Just say definitely go into too much of this weekly monster, weekly challenge. So it's going away from the normal formula. That could be good if it's a payoff. Unfortunately, I think the issue with that was that, okay, so the main story isn't finished yet. The main story isn't finished with the whole festival thing. Aku has some realization in the end, and we didn't really see Susie and Lotte being eaten by a monster. Susie was expecting to be enjoying it and so on. But the problem was that, as I mentioned earlier, they still had the whole, like, weekly issue of becoming the end this week. Then it ended. So I felt like it would be better if she was Diana during the end. However, though, that gives us the first episode so far. We can then go speculate and theorize what can happen next week, much more next week. And previously it's been like, well, it's probably going to happen, but now we actually can kind of spec out to say, okay, this can happen. So my prediction then for next episode is that will Aku win? I actually see Aku winning, actually, becoming the Luna, what's it called, Luna? I could see it happening because it felt like she was going to win the race, episode 3, but she didn't. But Diana won, so it felt like now, like 10 episodes later, because it's episode 13 then, it could be that she's gonna win this time. So I could see her winning, as she lost last time, and she was doing a similar thing, like this she won last 20 years ago. So I could see her winning this episode actually, or next episode, or whatever, yeah. I could see it happening. It's kind of like she's grown now and so on, yeah. So likely she will have to win it, but she will have to win it by being eaten by the poopy ghost monster. So she has to do something interesting with that for sure. So that's interesting how she's gonna figure that out, how she make that more spectacular. So that is probably what happen next week. She's probably gonna have to like figure out, okay, how can I use this sacrificing to the ghost monster thing in a good way that somehow gives me more credit than like the other witches are coming from afar, that they're gonna like it more than they did last year or something, right? So that's probably what's gonna be the issue in the next week then. And it feels like, I'm just predicting this, but it feels like they're not going to touch at all but the Diana thing, which is probably going to make this episode even weaker next week. They're probably not even going to touch on that she was turning into Diana. That's probably not going to be discussed. That's what I feel, that this Diana transforming to Diana is like this very like, like this is still one of those weekly things, so that is locked away for the next episode. That's going to be a really weird thing. Or that's going to make the episode even weaker then, as I said, because next week then they're going to go into next week and they're going to be like, oh, let's fix this ghost thing, and no one is going to mention that you were Diana for one day? Oh, how did that turn out? So it's like, yeah, they're probably going to touch on that at all. And they're going to know what episode even more, like a 7 10 or so best episodes. This stuff. Yeah, I think that's going to make it even confusing. We'll see next week, but I think so that they're just going to ignore that. That ever happened. They're gonna be like, yeah, whatever. Usually to Diana, they're not gonna mention it, right? That's gonna be kind of weird. Hopefully they touch it, but I don't think so. That's my general prediction then, and that's also kind of a bad omen then, that they're probably just like continuation of the weekly story, but still doing it some kind of like continuation general story. So that is, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see next week's episode to see if they can handle it and see if they can actually make it work. I actually think they can't, what I've seen so far, so I'm a little disappointed in that. This episode did work, August. So yeah, see you guys next week. It'll be interesting. Have a great day.